today it's going to be a little bit different video from my usual uploads. As you have seen, I have hit and exceeded 5,000 subscriber marks and wanted to kind of dedicate a separate video to this topic. I wanted to express my gratefulness and appreciation for your support, views, attention, comments, likes, suggestions. I want to say thank you very much for everyone who has seen at least one videos, taken participation into the poll, suggested something to sculpt, to make, or the best of them are people who suggest something to improve in my projects for me to grow, as well as hopefully viewers who are watching and grasping new tips and tricks. This achievement is completely your fault, and from my side I wanted to promise you more videos, more crazy projects, different dioramas, models and sculptures. So what to do for the rest of the video? I have taken a look at my archive of this channel and I have more than 120 videos and kind of decided to showcase 15 of my oldest ones. 15 and not 10, because after these 15 projects I took a little bit of a pause. The projects are themselves quite interesting and maybe you can see them, appreciate them, and I at the same time want to commentate on them and maybe express my wishes, what I could add to them and improve upon. So this is M1A2 Abrams main battle tank clay / beeswax model. Beeswax because I have made it in my village using beeswax, which is a lot sturdier than my clay, and it really allowed me to have this moving part like tracks, wheels and so on. And this was the first video I have ever uploaded on the YouTube and it kickstarted my channel, so I'm very proud of this one. The flaws I can mention is the roundiness of the shapes. Main battle tanks or any other kind of military vehicles really need to have this very smooth and plain surfaces and very sharp corners. So this was my second video ever. This was the Captain America and the First Avenger comic book version, so to say. The flaws I want to mention right now is the face. Unfortunately, I have decided for some reason to go all over and make this crazy scaly armor onto the torso and make him really very muscular and only concentrate on that, and face turned out to look like some kind of a potato, to be honest. So Thanos, the first model of him I have made on my channel, and this version is more like a comic book version. The only flaw I can mention here is it is too simple, so to say. Yeah, really this chair, throne, of course, and the earth gives it kind of a complicated look, but to be honest, the whole project, the whole body of him is quite plain, and I could maybe add more details onto the clothing and arms, maybe legs and muscle texture. And this is the Wolverine project. Yeah, the torso and up looks quite neat in my opinion. Face more or less, especially the body, the muscles on the arms are quite nice. The only thing about this one is the proportions of the legs. They are too small and short for the torso part, unfortunately. So this was the fourth and final chapter of this 4-week Marvel projects, Iron Man project sculpture, and this was probably my finest sculpture at that time. I really like this one even right now. Proportions are quite awesome. The only thing I would add here is more detailing in the separations of the armor plates and maybe adding some kind of more sharper turns and corners and more plainish details onto the armor surface itself. This one was probably the most shocking projects on my channel after this military / comic book, and it was to kind of start the feel of Christmas on my channel and at the same time to express this sadness of melting ice caps and diminishing places where polar bears could live. And yeah, I'm not really guessing what I could add even right now. Douchebag is probably the weirdest of my projects, and I don't really remember why I have decided to do this one. Maybe I have seen some kind of video about gym rules and kind of decided to create this caricature of some guy not applying and following those rules. And I'm not really sure what could I have done better, as it is a caricature and everything about it is exaggerated. And this is the Rooster which I wanted to create due to the upcoming year, which was the Rooster's year. And this is one of the most complicated projects due to many reasons, because it needed to have this lots of different shaped and sized and textured feathers. At the same time, it was standing on one leg and it was life-sized. Darth Maul was the first of my Star Wars projects and it was the biggest disappointment, unfortunately. I took a lot of time to get this posture. The face itself took a hell of a lot and long hours to make, and unfortunately I screwed up onto the neck and portions of it. It is too elongated. On some angles it is more visible than not, and yeah, this is probably the biggest flaw. The War from Darksiders. I'm not really sure if you know who this guy is. It is from game Darksiders, which right now has 3 parts. It has 3 parts. The War was the first guy which appeared as a main hero, more like anti-hero of the game, and once again the posture, the body, armor and sword itself, they are perfect. And unfortunately, once again, I screwed up the face. Yeah, I don't really love sculpting faces. If you have followed my channel, you already know that. The Hulk is the largest, weight-wise at least, the heaviest projects I have ever made. It was 35 kilograms, and yeah, it was quite difficult and challenging tasks to do. And the flaws, it was quite crude, to be honest. The body and muscle shapes are too cartoony, so to say. If I had the time and amount of clay right now as I had back then, I could maybe add more details and realism onto the muscles, posture and maybe facial features as well. It was my cosplay prop I have created from The Walking Dead, Negan's favorite weapon / wife. And yeah, it was quite special because the bat on it is not real. It is completely made up from plastic paper and some other filler materials. I don't really remember what they are. But the wire itself is real, but it is coated with plastic, so it is not sharp and you cannot really hurt anyone with this. The Bane mask, it kind of has a history behind it. This is the second iteration of Bane mask I have ever made. The first one was made for me personally, and I have used it in my New Year party, and my friend borrowed it and never returned. So I love Bane character and loved Christopher Nolan movie so much that I have decided to create the second one and at the same time feature it on my channel. The Mighty Mouse. I have decided to create it from my love of World of Tanks. That time at least I loved playing this game and I wanted to get this super heavy 200-ton tank and decided to create this model out of plastic boards and with moving tracks once again. And the Predator mask was my final project from those 15 video waves, so to say, and it was quite tough to create. I kind of remember teaching several ideas and concepts while doing this one. The only thing I could improve about this guy is the surface, which is too bumpy, and maybe if I had more clay and more patience and more time, I could work on it better and maybe give it like slicker look. But yeah, I really love, and it remains as one of my greatest projects and models on my channel. So that was my past. thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. And as for the future, the upcoming project is going to be, as decided by the polls, Godzilla vs King Kong. I want to really work on it, and maybe it is going to miss 1 week. Have a nice day and see you next time. Goodbye.